Welcome to Season 2, Episode 12 of the Multiracial Verse podcast. I am your host, Antonio Fernandez. And today we're doing something that we haven't done yet. I am going to do a solo show in honor of National Poetry Month, one of my favorite months. Plus, it's also Earth Month. So let's get on with it. In this podcast, we explore personal identity, cultural heritage, and the impact of upbringing on creative expression. I'm a mixed race, sober, and vegan individual born in the vibrant city of San Francisco and raised in the scenic landscapes of Wyoming. After tossing my graduation cap in the air and running up and down the West Coast, I packed my bags and embarked on a journey that led me all across California, the world, and eventually I found solace in the serene embrace of the Pacific Northwest, the perfect place for a tree hugger. As a parent of 3 wonderfully mixed-race children, I understand the complexities and beauty of diverse identities, and besides being your host, I'm also a published poet. My love for poetry runs deep. I even went to grad school for it, and today, in celebration of Poetry Month, I'll be sharing some of my most recent verses with you. Multiracial Verse podcast celebrates diversity, adversity, and challenges, societal stigma through authentic conversations with our guests. We amplify stories from underrepresented communities, including multiracial, multicultural, and LGBTQIA+ individuals, while highlighting the intersections of race, sexuality, disability, and creative expression. At its core, this podcast aims to foster understanding, empathy, and the power of storytelling to reshape narratives about identity. So let's dive in today into the world of poetry while we celebrate National Poetry Month. Most of these poems are raw, but I'm going to give a little bit of context about some of the poetry. I am a curious person, lover of life. Everything amazes me, and I am in wonder at everything. Being sober, I sometimes feel like I am actually high all the time just because I'm so filled with curiosity and so blown away by the things in this world. So these poems, they examine society, they examine race, they examine history. I love thinking about things that existed prior to us that we think we know. We might not know nothing really about. Things like the colors of dinosaurs, what the highways were like through the prairies back in the Wild Wild West. I'm just curious about everything. So we're going to start with this first poem called We Are Never Satisfied. Our first poem delves into the human condition, which I talk about a lot, and our perpetual quest for fulfillment. Explores the idea of poetry as a form of inspiration and a safe alternative to drugs, offering a glimpse into the soul's yearning and the black holes of wanting and feeling. The poem invites us to reflect on the nature of satisfaction and the creative process that fuels our desires. We are never satisfied. It takes the right amount of polaric tilt, a pause in the wind, to jump through the eye of a snowflake, catch a whiff of inspiration, producing a poetry photosynthesis through telekinesis, mixed mental mumbo jumbo, iambic pentameter, and vaccination on a spectrum to create a rare event worth reading, provoke kneeling, offering a safe alternative to drugs for feeling, a plug for our ever-growing black godholes of wanting and feeling. Is a soul one size fits all? Is my soul the same size as a ladybug, squished, stretched to fit an earthly karmic container? Mushed together past misplaced pieces, jigsawed, glued, cemented into creatures, creating conscious walking stews of cosmic gunk, light, love, and stardust? Does a soul live in our limbs, corner of our craniums, just under the skin, hover over us, protective jacket, patchwork quilt, never the correct fit, always falling off or leaking out, tearing at the elbows and the knees, fits like hand-me-downs. Either way or any way will we ever know how do they come and go, Does a soul really exist? Invisible force creates poetry, makes love, murders, gives birth, imagines, sadness, orgasm, stuck in the human condition, dies, disappears. It's not something that I think about often, but when I do, I don't look to priests, politicians, magicians, electricians, celebrities, psychiatrists, pirates, yoga instructors, neurosurgeons, Instagram life coaches, egocentric influencers for the answers. They are searching for more than I am. Newsflash, newsflash, this is all that there is. Maybe that makes me more self-aware. All of this thinking begs the question, before conception, the Big Bang, two lost souls doing it doggy style. Birth dragged me into all of this, whatever it is, clever centrifuge of conscious unconsciousness. I need to know if my soul jumped willingly, tripped, stumbled, slipped, fell headfirst on accident, or was it pushed upward, downward, toward earth by a flick of God's fingers, or something that is yet to be named by our simple brains. Poem 3, Our Native Tongue is All Chance. This talks about how the randomness of existence and languages we speak. It highlights the improbability of our birth and the myriad of ways we communicate, often without fully understanding one another. Captures the essence of human connection and shared experiences that transcend language barriers, reminding us of the beauty and complexity of our interactions. Our native tongue is all chance. Scientists say our chance of being born is 1 in 4 trillion, maybe in 4 quadrillion. What the fuck language is quadrillion? To be brought into existence, 7,100 different languages, not including Pig Latin, or the high-pitched moaning and swearing you hear through mid-century apartment walls to when neighbors arrive home drunk from the bar. We have the potential to speak any language on earth. Pretty crazy when you think we usually are taught one, rarely make an effort to learn a second unless forced. Right now, all I can do is translate fuck me harders, moans, coughs, gags, smacking of sweaty skin, and at this very moment believe what I'm hearing translates to love or something similar in any language. Footnote, I'm not bilingual, just guessing, might mean thanks for the Jack and Coke or please help me forget about the pain in my life. Pillow over my head, half asleep. I wonder if it's really the neighbors at all or alley cats fighting. We're all stray dogs barking at the moon. This next poem is Hitting the Space Bar Sober. Explores the concept of space, both physical and emotional, the need for space in our personal lives. It touches on themes of loss, memory, and struggle to find peace amidst chaos. And this poem invites you to pause and reflect on the spaces we occupy and the invisible forces that shape our experiences. Hitting the Space Bar Sober. Before pounce becomes fight or prey, odor of air in the mouth as breakup words form in the throat. Intuition throws thousands of roundhouses, pupa punching bags break loose, butterflies crashing into stomach lining, anticipation, the space between joy and jumping off the cliff. Let's pause, don't know where we're going. How does the astronaut get lost in space when they can see light years in every direction? Wyoming highways, reference to my childhood. Here's another dead dad I've not yet been able to mourn. Need space occupying every room in my mind. No vacancy, neon sign, can you see it? Space does not exist anywhere, air particles everywhere, invisible fog blankets, us all on this planet. Don't pull too much in your sleep, lay still. Be kind, and all you do is the feeling of being perfectly tucked in, one leg poking out, trying to regulate the temperature. It's all climate change. The sheets, humans, done shit the bed. This next one, I love art. I love history. So it's called No Matter How Hard You Try, You'll Never Be Able to Feel History. examines the elusive nature of history. Think about when you're standing in front of like a 500-year-old painting and you're trying to imagine the painter sitting there, the subject sitting there. It just blows my mind. The ways in which our history shapes our present. It reminds us that while we strive to grasp the past, its true essence often remains out of our reach. So let's get to it. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be able to feel history. Stare. Picasso, Women with a Guitar, 1914, San Francisco MoMA wall. Maybe present day, maybe future. Angle my head, circle my eyes, frame my thoughts, triangle from the other side, jump into the slick pool of oil paint no matter how much I try, angle after angle, cubed, 3 times mind, a rectangle, for the life of me and lives before, can't wrap my head around the history in the picture on the wall. I guess I'm too square, meaning it fell flat, similar to the meaning of life. Abstract, different perspective through everyone's mind. It's all art. Even for those who can't see, some of the most beautiful pictures are flashes of light in absolute darkness beyond broken eyelids. What I'm saying, open up, let the spoon come in, vroom, vroom, train in a tunnel without a light at the other end, plane touching down, no earth below. Once something had happened, it's history. There's no way to feel it the way it felt a moment before. The model picked up the gray guitar and their cylindrical neck broke, half-circle head tumbled down a triangle mountain into 4 Campbell soup cans. This next one, as I alluded to in one of the other poems, definitely write about real life. This one is called On the Eve of the first anniversary of my father's death, August 30th, 2022. No explanation needed. If I had all the words I never heard my father speak, put them into a bag, it would still be empty, a bag too heavy to lift or ever take with me. Alrighty, I love fun poems. I love, if you listen, there's just a lot of like hidden meanings and jokes in my poems. The next one is called Restroom Reincarnation. You can't have your urinal cake and eat it too. I was on a camping trip and I went to the bathroom at this campsite, and this explores the idea of karma and consequences of our action. It invites us to consider the absurdity of existence and the ways in which finding meaning in unexpected places moves us. Restroom Reincarnation. You can't have your urinal cake and eat it too. Once on a recent camping trip, we were lucky enough to stay at a place where the campsite bathrooms all had flushing urinals. Every time I went to relieve myself, I noticed, for some reason, the drain area was covered by dozens of different species of insects, ants, spiders, swarming crickets, mosquitoes, beetles, flies. It was like the whole class of insecta decided to take a ditch day at the local piss pool, maybe as a way to cool off, get nourishment, or possibly they were just attracted to the putrid aroma of urine. I'm not an entomologist, I don't really know. Just a curious guy with the full bladder. I watched for a minute, sprayed the party goers. They splish-splash squirmed, too wet to climb, but most tried or just wiggled drowning. The way they were there looking for an exit, I think they knew the party was over. Most of them piss drunk. As I zipped up, grabbed the handle, hand of God, I thought, what god-awful thing does one have to do in this lifetime to come back as an insect who ends up drowning in a filthy campsite urinal in an Oregon forest campground outhouse? I imagine there were probably some really awful people, murderers, rapists, politicians, pedophiles. Or maybe they were ordinary people like many of us, those who made a few bad decisions. Maybe only one. And this last one is apropos for what's going on currently in our society after we just had another shooting at a college. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. This one is called Random Thoughts While Drinking Coffee and Reading About Another School Shooting. In the wild, wild west, battles broke out anywhere, anytime. Barely needed a reason. Wearing a gun was plenty. Just enough resentment, hate, madness pushed a person to reach for theirs. Anger, thunderstorms downpoured, body parts, dead ponies, broken families all over the plains. Soldiers, settlers, cowboys, Indians, scalped, gutted, twisted, mutilated, crumpled, full of holes. Marionettes suddenly dropped from heaven, no strings attached, into a field, middle of nowhere, South Dakota. Most passerbys probably showed indifference to the mortal debris, steered wagons around puddles of rotting corpses, buzzards bent, pecking limbs, pulling skin, tearing eye sockets, ripping groins, sitting on heads, sometimes still attached to the rest of the body. Must have been wild to be in the middle of somewhere, pass a field littered with dead humans, keep driving. Everyone suffered from the trauma of murder all of the time. It's amazing to think before the West was won, people were so lazy that murdering each other was the easiest path to agreement. And it's amazing that hundreds of years later, piles of bodies still barely cause a reaction or reflection. Thank you for joining me on this special episode of the Multiracial Verse for National Poetry Month. I hope some of these poems have resonated you, made you think, make you want to go write and create. Maybe you write some reactions, write some responses to these, sparked meaningful reflections, make you want to do a little bit of research, learn more about things. Remember, poetry has the power to heal, inspire, and connect us in profound ways. And until next time, keep exploring the multiracial verse and celebrating the beauty of diverse identities. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Huge shout out to my friend Johannes Skoda for mixing and creating the intro music, and DJ Kazam for the track.